Assalamu alaikum. I have a sister by the name of
Adora Campus.
sister wants to become Muslim. So inshallah, I have another Muslim sister who is a witness here. And so now I'm going to say it in Arabic and she is going to repeat after me. Ashhadu
Ashhadu
alla
illa
ilaha
ilaha
illallah
illallah
wa ashhadu
wa ashhadu
anna
anna
Muhammadan
Muhammadan
abduhu
abduhu
wa rasuluhu.
wa rasuluhu.
Isa
Isa
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah.
I bear witness
I bear witness
that there is no God
that there is no God
but Allah,
but Allah,
and I bear witness
and I bear witness
that Muhammad,
that Muhammad
peace be upon him,
is a prophet,
is a servant
is a servant
and messenger
and messenger
of Allah.
of Allah.
Allahu Akbar. And now,
Allahu Akbar.
sister, if you don't mind, I'll ask you, what is the reason for you to accept Islam?
Because I've been seeing Muslim on television and television shows, and I like the way the people are, and how sweet they are, and how beautiful they are.
Thank you very much.
Ashhadu
Ashhadu
an la
an la
ilaha
ilaha
illallah
illallah
wa
wa
ashhadu
ashhadu
anna
anna
Muhammadan
Muhammadan
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah.
Allah.
Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar.
أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد.
So today I'm gonna go ahead and try to do my Reaper story. It is kind of long, so if it takes several parts, I am sorry. But growing up, I didn't know much about religion, to be honest. I follow what my parents said. We went to church every now and then, or like when we had like a quinceañera or a wedding, and we had to be there for the church. And also like the traditions, I guess, for Christmas, you know, celebrating baby Jesus and the posadas. That was pretty much it. I didn't know much of it. Around high school, I started getting anxiety, and I think it was 9th grade. And I always admired how my friends were always so on top of their game. They knew everything about religion. Anything you would ask them, they would kind of like respond right away. And I didn't know. I felt like an outcast. I felt so lost. I felt dumb. I felt like, I don't know. I felt like maybe I didn't belong here, you know? And I also didn't know who God was, to be honest. I didn't know who anyone or anything meant. And I reached out to my friend and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm having anxiety, this and this. He's like, okay, you just have to devote yourself to Jesus Christ and let him take part or lead the way. I was like, okay. So on this day, we went after class and he took out a piece of notebook paper and he was like, you know, just write down this and whatever. So I was like, okay. On this day, I, Aileen Contreras, devote myself to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And I was kind of like, well, what's next? And then he was like, well, you're saved. Like, that's that. I was like, oh, okay. I tried reading the Bible. It didn't make sense. It honestly never made sense. It felt like I was reading blank pages. And I tried reading different versions. I thought it was just the versions that didn't make sense. But no, nothing clicked. So I downloaded like daily Bible verse reminders. So I was like, okay, well that counts as something, right? Obviously it didn't. Around my junior year in high school, I met my best friend. She's Muslim, and I admired her and her friends. You know, they're always on top of their game. They would pray, and they were wearing hijab, which is what I admired the most. They look so beautiful. And also during like the month of Ramadan, I was always very, very curious, and I was like, well, we have Lent. It's kind of the same. It's not. I tried to fit in, but I was too afraid to gain too much knowledge, because growing up, it was very, very taboo if you even seeked or like looked into another religion, according to my grandparents. And I remember it always stuck out to me that my grandma once told us as kids, if you even go into a Christian church, you're going to hell. So imagine going to hell for just going to a church. My grandma once told us as kids, if you even go into a Christian church, you're going to hell. So imagine going to hell for just going to a church. It's literally converting or like seeking another religion that's not Catholicism. It's like, whatever, I just like put it to the side. I thought they were just like thoughts. Well, last year I got really into it again, and I wanted to keep learning about it. And I seeked out to a friend. I asked her if she could give me more knowledge, and she did. Bless her soul. She's been with me throughout my entire journey. And so what we did FaceTime calls, and this was during the month of Ramadan last year. And we would do FaceTime calls, and she always told me from the very beginning, I'm telling you this to teach you or to like educate you. And if at the end of the day or at the end of this like journey, you're like, hey, it's not for me. She said, it's completely okay. My feelings aren't gonna get hurt. It actually helps me. So I was like, okay. So we started. She broke down every single FaceTime call into such ease. Like she would make like each day was a different topic. And so we started. I remember from the very first time she spoke and everything, like everything just clicked. Literally everything made sense. I had no questions, which was, I was like, maybe she thinks I'm like not asking because I'm not interested, but literally everything clicked, and it just made sense. For like the first time in my life, I understood everything. And so that happened, and then she said, well, go ahead and buy this English Quran. She said, go ahead and read it. So it's like, okay. And then I would read it, and then sometimes I would like ask, like write down my notes and ask a question. Be like, okay, once we FaceTime, I'll go ahead and ask this question. And I kid you not, I'll write down the question, and as soon as I would turn the page, my answer was right there. And it just amazed me. Like it was kind of like freaky in a way. And I even fasted during last year, and it was just like, okay. And honestly, everything started to make sense, or it started to fall into place. And I knew I wanted to convert. I was just very, very afraid.